Welcome to your July 14th Monday Power Hour meeting with Katelyn, Carly, and Clare Fulton. Welcome, welcome. Hope you all had a good week. How was the weekend? I'm going to just start with Jonathan because he's right here and did 2 open houses. I was like, that's interesting. How are you going to be in 2 places at once? But you had help. That's good. And how did they go? What was the traffic like?
This weekend was slow. We did open houses last weekend as well.
Yeah, it was the second weekend.
Yeah, so we did 2 back-to-back.
2 back-to-back, yeah.
The first weekend we had tons of traffic, and this weekend was like a quarter of that.
Okay, so first weekend really busy, second weekend not so much.
So I had 14 groups last weekend, and I had 4 groups this
Okay,
weekend.
14 versus 4, but still had some people through.
Are they both Markham?
Sorry?
Both Markham or?
One's in Stouffville and the one's in Markham.
Both York region, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Both high price points too, no?
Sorry?
Both high price points? Like-ish? Like above
More
a million,
More than
right?
average, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Sandeep, any open houses for you or just showings? I know you're, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's okay. Anyone online do open houses? Or I don't know what WhatsApp said. I saw lots of open house signs in my area, in your area as well. But yeah.
Everyone's sleepy.
Everyone's out running, more buyers. Everyone's tired from buyers, eh? They take there a lot right now.
I've heard people are preferring buyers over sellers though right now, which is a very interesting thing because I almost feel like you're driving around more now with buyers because there's so many options. Yeah. Yeah.
But at least you can have a phone
And they just tack
conversation
them on.
versus getting in the car and driving around, no? Still buyers.
The hard part with the buyers these days, probably from your head nod, is you'll be going out on Sunday and then they'll add like 3 or 4 more when you already have that schedule planned out, right? And you're probably doing more than 5 at a time.
5, 7, 8.
Yeah, because they have so much option.
Everything right.
Yeah. So what are you guys telling these
In
guys?
the back of my head, like when he talks about pre-qualifying, things like if I take you out to see a unit today, you like it, are you ready to offer on it? Are you ready to offer the price that it's listed for?
Yeah.
Does it feel like I'm spinning my wheels a little bit?
Yeah.
I work with a lot of renters. It's definitely a renter's market right now, but they don't understand that the listed price is always a low price.
Yeah.
Just
Crazy.
Figure out how to better spend time with them in advance of viewings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had an agent, were you in the WhatsApp chat? An agent said, is it normal to do 16 showings, I think it was? And we were all like, no. Like, this is a newer agent too. So I think a lot of agents recommended like 5 at the most.
Yeah.
16 showings for how many days? For one day?
1 day. That's a lot of showings.
Yeah, unless their name is Stanek Saha.
That will murder anybody. Like, that's too much.
You just actually can't make a decision with that many. At some
No.
point, you're going to be too tired, you're fatigued, you can't remember
To
anything.
narrow down the options by looking
Yeah.
at pictures and details, square footage, so that when you get out to look at the viewing, they're telling you I'm not interested because of things that were obvious in the listing.
Yeah. Or I remember there'll be some buyers too when you might have had a day planned for Friday or something, and then another one popped up and they'll say, can we see this one today? And still go see the 5 Friday. And like, I think there's gonna be a lot of burnout for agents in terms of buyers showing. So obviously there's a lot of options out there, which is good for them, but it's gonna get tired for you guys too at some point.
I like that script though. If we take you out today and you like what you see, are you prepared to offer on something today?
Yep.
And if they say no, I'm just looking. I just
looking.
want to browse around.
I still want to look though, right? Is that what it says?
You know, they tell you that you're in the middle of the day. They're like, I love this.
I love shopping for houses. Yeah.
Yeah, we love working for free too, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's tough.
Yeah, it's a very interesting time.
Yeah, so it's a good chance to use those type of scripts, hone back on their why, like go back to your intake and go back to their list of what they're looking for and don't let them sway off that. Like be the expert, dig into that listing, street view it, Google the area, show them why they may or may not want to go see it and help them be that person because we're not just order takers. We don't have to be. We can provide guidance and consulting, right, to them. So it helps you out as well.
We can talk about $500,000 off.
So just going back on that, just curious,
for
if somebody's going to show 16 listings or even 5 listings there, are we asking the buyer, hey, do you want to put an offer on this place?
So that's hopefully what we're going to start suggesting. Or you might have to go back to the buyer consultation and say, You said you wanted a garage. This one does not have a garage, so let's not look at that. Or this one doesn't have open concept. You wanted open concept. It's not renovated. So like, you almost have to go back to that consultation that we did and remind them of the things they said that they wanted and only focus on those things, right?
Yeah, and
but it's hard to tell a buyer that because they still want to see it. They still want to see it.
It's true, we can't just be nice all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to, I'll pre-frame it with them and say, look, like, I'm going to tell you the truth right now.
Yeah.
You're agents, and it's not good to hold back. So.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to give them permission as well, and you have to be honest and you have to be truthful when you say this. But you say, of all the houses we've seen, if I was the buyer, this is the one I would buy.
So
Fair.
so that's what I did this morning. I've got a client who's spinning a little bit right now, and I said, look, what I'm going to do first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to send you my top 3 from everything we've seen so far, which over the last 2 weeks probably about 20, right? So I'm going to tell you what my top 3 are based on my experience and what I see. And hopefully we can get them to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
So little things like that. I mean, you can never sell a house if a guy never wants to buy it.
Yeah.
But you can give him permission to buy it. It's just part of the sales, right?
The best is when they have a timeline, though. Like a pregnant woman is the
Motivation.
best timeline. she's got a few months on her. Stuff like that always helps. Or when you sell their house first.
Haven't got this complete in my head just yet, but there was a trainer years ago that said you should open up the possibilities, not close them down. But you got to think about it for a second. So in other words, if somebody they want the pool, they want the garage, they want the south-facing, they want the sidewalk, they want and they want all these things. Instead of saying, well, what if we didn't get the sidewalk? What if the sidewalk's on the other part of the street? Or what if it was a single-car garage instead of a double-car? Like, you just open it up instead of closing it down. Because you've heard the term buyers are liars. They're not buyers or liars. It's just that they're telling you what they want, but they haven't seen what they want. Then all of a sudden, what they end up buying isn't what they told you at all. Has that happened to anybody?
Yeah.
So I was reading something here about appraisal, saying that you can appraise a property on square footage and bedrooms and pools and amenities, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's their emotion that wants to buy it. And that's the emotion you can't control.
Yeah.
So you almost want to open up, even though they don't want to see something without a garage. Sometimes the house without the garage is the house they want. So I don't know how, but then you end up showing no more than 16, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a journey. You go on as many showings as possible in that exploratory phase, and then as you go down, you learn more about what they like because you're paying attention to their energy and their verbal cues. And then I think part of the journey is you dwindle it down a little bit more, where you're only seeing 2 to 3 at any given time. And
I was going to say the worst part, too, is when they start with a very low budget and then all of a sudden, magically they have $200,000 more on that last house, and you could have, if you just upped the budget at the beginning, it would have saved a lot of time as well.
Another thing we used to do, and this goes back 100 years, we used to preview properties
Before the client?
before the client.
That would actually be more enjoyable, to be honest.
would
I remember
actually-
doing that. And
In fact, part of our routine back then before computers was we'd actually go out there and look ourselves every day. Part of your routine was go out and inspect properties.
right.
Pete, looking at Peter over back here.
yeah.
We'd actually go out and look at properties without a client. Like these are inspections, just
Like
looking.
during the
Actually,
day.
I love to do a preview too in your own
Yeah,
time. You
it's-
just go there.
Tell
fly
them you
around.
like this.
You got nothing to do that afternoon. What are you gonna do? Go home? What? I'm gonna book a appointment. Go see some properties, right?
Yeah.
So you sometimes you preview properties even before your clients. Say, look, I previewed 16 properties. These are the 3 that I think match your criteria. Let's go look at these 3.
Yeah.
And you can go in it at your quick pace and not
Yeah.
slowly.
On your schedule.
Particularly good if you're farming in an area. If you're farming in an area and a property comes up in your farm area, you want to book an inspection, go see that
course,
property.
yeah.
You don't have to buy it. You can go look. You can go inspect the property. So you should be seeing every single property that's in that farm area. Every time it comes up for sale, you should be going and looking at it.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's true.
Lots of ideas for our poor buyers agents. Both sides is really hard right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
The sellers
Choose-
agents are
choose your
freaking
hard.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, choose your hard.
Choose your hard. They're both hard.
So what do the buyers tell us? What's the hard part? Like they want to buy a house and there's a house. Let's buy it. What are they saying?
They're looking for something very perfect that matches their
They want
exact
400,000 under asking.
Too many options. Katelyn said it a few weeks ago, and it resonated with me. You're looking at a $1 million house, and you're going on about a microwave.
Yeah. yeah.
Even in our market, so you're going on about a microwave. Like a
Yes.
microwave is $80. I'll buy you a microwave.
I have bought
Talking about
a wall unit AC this year already. I'm like, I'll buy you one. Just take it. No
Yeah, so
problem.
our buyers, they're very particular.
Because they can be.
Yeah, they can. They're not in a rush.
And even more so today, I think there's less buyers out today than would be just because
The demand's not
the
so
motivation's not there, right? Like the holidays there, you
Yeah.
know, weather's hot.
I think it's also challenging if you've got a condo to sell. You want an upgrade and you want to make a move, but you've got to sell your current property. Take that, and that's hard right now. So unless you're a first-time home buyer, it's hard to get that move up too. There's a lot of reasons, yeah.
All right, stats. Okay.
Yep.
July 13th, we've got 32,000 listings, just to answer your question there. So 32,300 listings, so it's come down a little bit there. We hit 33 at one point, right?
Yeah, we just kissed it though. Now we've been at 32 for a week.
32 for a bit. There's 32,000, 18,000 are freeholds, 13,000 are condos. Vacants, of all the listings that are active right now, there's 33% of them are vacant. Split that up, it's 27% of the freeholds are vacant and 42% of the condominiums are vacant. These are for sale. So that tells us that there's a lot of new constructions coming, pre-constructions coming to the marketplace. A lot of people are putting it on the market and trying to sell them.
And
Right?
these are truly vacant. Their vacant home tax is going to come into play at some point.
That's true too. Yeah, so gotta be careful with that. Sales, we're actually only 2% less than July of last year, so that's okay. In July of last year, we had how many sales for the month? Do you have Market Watch there?
I won't have July, but I will have June.
Just look at the last day. Should have July there too.
Oh, sorry, 50. Yeah, about 5,400.
54 higher, so not a big month there, but it's still 2% above. Unfortunately, it's 20% below the first 13 days in June.
Thanks.
So the first 13 days in June, now the school's out. People are doing, I guess, non-school stuff and taking out. So that's actually down about 20%, I said, right? And that's 20% across the board, both condos and freeholds and everything down about 20%. Daily, we're still doing about 178 per day, which is okay. I mean, it's not 200, but it's not 50 either, so it's all right that way. Leases, we've got 18,000 active leases, 7,900 are freeholds, 10,000 are condominiums. On the vacant side for leases, 51% of all leases for lease right now are vacant. Represents 54% of freeholds are vacant, and only 48% of condos are vacant. So we've got some freehold houses that are vacant. That's interesting.
Yep.
What would cause that?
I think they're not selling, so they're trying to rent them out, and they're not renting out either.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
don't.
Leases made are actually up 13% from July of last year, and only down about 3% from June. So lease market seems to be okay, even though I'm sure that the markets or the rents have come down.
I'm reading that the rents have come down. Are you guys seeing that as well? You were saying, Ronald, that your clients are trying to negotiate the list price. I actually think
So I'd say
you can.
It's
Yeah.
tricky. So
Yeah.
when searching, you've got to search significantly over your ceiling because
Yeah.
you're going to miss places that ultimately are going to rent for low prices. So like one bedrooms right now are like 2,000, 2,100.
Yeah.
50. By the time you're at 2,300, you can get a 1+1.
Yeah. So for those online, he's saying you might, for your searches for your tenants, you might want to increase the search criteria because a lot of these guys are willing to
Negotiable.
negotiate. So you don't want to miss a bunch, even though there's no shortage of inventory. But if there's a building that they particularly like, you can increase your range a little bit. Yeah, I'm reading that immigration is mostly what's impacted the rental prices going down. There's 10,000 Ontario college layoffs.
Whoa.
It's the biggest layoff. It was even bigger than the Hudson's Bay Company, which laid off 8,000 employees. These are 10,000 teachers, college type, admin professionals, and it's because their admission rates at the schools are way down. They've cut hundreds of programs, 600 programs got canceled or suspended. And so this is all impacting the people that would have came here to rent, and it's impacting the rental prices because there's an oversupply now.
International student.
Yeah, that's a big layoff. 10,000 people. These are a lot of jobs lost for that industry right now. And it's a little bit sad for our communities too, because this is lost talent that we would have had that would have graduated, maybe stayed here in Canada as well. It's actually lost talent for everybody too. So from business programs, engineering, nursing, arts, hospitality, forest management. Yeah, Centennial alone, which is one of the province's largest colleges, suspended 124 programs.
Whoa. Now I wonder if are students just not going to people like the younger generation is not going to college anymore.
No, I think our Canadians are still going to local colleges, but we relied on immigration to also go to these colleges too. They really relied on them, and they've canceled these programs altogether. So that's definitely impacting your rental rates for sure. And I'm reading that I have got multiple articles about rents going down. CMHC commented on it as well. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for tenants for rent to be more affordable. Our rents were a little bit high for too long too. I think it's unfortunate for our landlords, but places will still rent for the right price. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for affordability though. So there's a bit of a balancing act for sure. Our average rent right now is about $2,200. Exactly kind of what you were just saying. $2,200 in the city for a 1-bedroom apartment, which is about 0.8 less than May, but it's 6% less than this time last year. So there's good and bad reasons. I think it's good that rents went down. I don't think it's good though that there's a lot of vacant apartments sitting out there needing to be rented out.
To me, to negotiate rent reductions. So we're working for free.
Oh, that are already living there. Oh, they want you to do
I
it.
got to the place a year ago.
Yeah, we had that question too.
And rather than moving to a cheaper place, they just
Yep.
want a rent reduction in their current place. So
Yeah.
initially I was like, no, I tried to push back a little bit. And then I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. And I got a client a rent reduction,
Okay.
which was great. And then, this was a referral chain, so all of a sudden.
Yeah. Now you're helping all the friends.
Well, then what I'll say to you for advice, get them into your CRM, keep in touch with them. They'll value that, and in 3 years when they want to buy, they'll think of you and what you negotiated for them.
They're like, our agent got us a cheaper. You're going to be gold to them.
Yeah, I'm hearing this too, that tenants are asking their landlords for a lower rent, knowing that the prices have come down. So what do you tell your landlords if somebody comes to you or a client comes to you? Are you saying, ask for the rental decrease? Are you doing it? Are you holding strong, trying to get a new tenant? Drop it. I think that's a majority. I don't think anyone's saying no to not dropping it. Yeah, especially if they're a good tenant. If they're not a good tenant, it's a whole different story. But I think that's a smart move to make. That's true. You can piggyback if you have something. to
Stay on your
say.
rent stuff there. We're getting away from rents.
I don't have much more to say other than the rent's down. Vacancy rates are set to rise even further, increasing turnover. So people are moving around, and I'm seeing more trend too. They're only staying for a year. I'm not seeing a lot of renewals happening. Like even with our own clients, we're having to get new tenants after that 1 year. And then I think it's going to put actually more pressure on the developing side. We know that a lot of developers are doing purpose-built rentals in lieu of condo apartments, but now there's going to be pressure on those because they're still not going to get the rent prices that they need to still make their margins make sense. So I don't know what the developers are going to do. They're in a very interesting spot. And I've got there's developers actually that are laying off employees too. So everybody's hurting a little bit right now. The good thing is that we'll have new rental supply, but it's going to be very slow. So yeah, slower population growth, changing employment conditions, all these things are impacting our rental rates.
Do we have any? Who's got listings right now that aren't selling? That the clients are getting desperate now, or are you getting desperate? Anything that happening? Is anything going on? Does anybody have listings and the seller saying, "Why is my property selling?" Or does the client know why it's not selling?
You can tell them why it's not selling. They don't believe you, which I actually have a thing on that.
They know why, right? Oh, you got one in Brampton that's like what? I don't know, $2 million and 1.9 getting showings, right?
Zero showings.
Zero showings, but
Like 60 days.
And won't drop the price.
You won't drop the price?
We've
Or?
already done one. I keep telling him, hey, do you want to drop them more? I said 1.7 is maybe where you could start getting some traction.
So they're saying the buyers are now offering way less than the asking price for homes. So has anybody seen that yet? Has anybody had listings and then the offers are quite a bit lower than what the seller wants, right? I see a couple nods here.
Sanek's got a good story. He's dying to tell you.
All right,
maybe take on the mic or
Well, you can go.
how do you position it?
Signals
You
are-
were in the loop.
I firmed over.
Oh, that one there.
Okay, so now we can talk about
we
it.
had a client.
All right, so I was looking over Sanek's.
Last week we didn't want to talk about it.
I was overlooking Sanek's shoulder a couple weeks back there, and I misunderstood it, but he told me that the client wanted 1.9. He's going in at 1.3 or something.
It was
And my comment was I was being mad, not mad. I was being bad on.
Like, what are you doing?
I said, why? I said, why are you putting 1.3 on a 1.9 property? He said, because that's what the buyer wanted. That's the last thing I want to hear.
That's what we do. The buyer tells us what we want to offer. We offer.
Like, I'm sorry, but you got to educate your buyer a little bit here. And I'm giving him hell, thinking, what the hell? Why are you wasting your time here? I mean, what are you doing here? And then I follow up the following week. He got it for 1.4, and now it's firm.
So
So
$300,000.
so don't listen to me.
Oh, 550.
$550,000 under the asking price.
All right.
Miracles can happen, guys. Don't listen to your broker.
In the annex.
Condo.
What it's worth though, like right now.
I think it was worth 900.
Oh,
Well, no, I thought it was worth 900 square foot till I be what?
Oh, we're all like, whoa.
I think to your point, yes, that is what it probably was worth. That's what the buyers in this market was willing to pay.
I guess you kind of got a
So-
little lucky because it was
Yes.
obviously a guy with a lot of money, the owner, because he owned multiple properties,
Well, the
right?
kicker on this is that he was the tenant of the unit.
Oh, that's right, too.
oh, your client was the tenant?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Oh,
Okay,
right,
so here's
right,
where
right.
the broker's right. Okay, so if I hear somebody has a listing, I'm sure Nelson does the same thing, Carl. So if I hear somebody has a tenanted property, the first thing I say, did you ask the tenant if they want to buy it?
And you did.
Could have saved a lot of
They did.
commission.
The reason why
But they wanted,
didn't wanna
but they
buy
wanted
it is
1.9, and the
because
tenant said
Oh,
no
but they
way.
went to tenant 1.9.
And tenant said,
so
no
it's-
way, I'm not paying 1.9. Let's go shop around. Now he's being kicked out of his property. Now they've got
But that took
motivation.
That took 6 months.
Yeah, that's
Because that was
true.
in January when they listed.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's a 6 month. That makes sense though.
He said the only way I'm getting this property is if I get a crazy deal on it.
Not a crazy deal.
And
And it did.
So he bought it, didn't have to move, just got to keep things.
He was still living there.
It's
So we
easy.
saw all the showings that happened. There was only 6 showings that happened.
So he got to
And
witness
that's a smooth
the activity.
transaction for the seller that doesn't have to do anything. They're in the property already. There's no inspection. There's
Was
no,
the
like-
closing quick too?
Yeah, we're closing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So two
I actually
things.
tried to put the buyer visits in, and the agent's
He's like, I live there. You can tell. Yeah. He's
Just in case. But you had two very motivated people. You had a tenant that was about to get kicked out of their house that wanted to buy, that had a budget. And you have a seller that wanted to sell that couldn't sell, that had other properties probably to sell as well. So you had two very motivated people.
Huh?
No,
No.
no. No, they put it on MLS. They put it on the market.
Okay, no, I thought you did.
That would have been even crazy.
So I guess, yeah, I mean, it seems crazy to go in that low, but you never know. You don't know the motivation. So if your client really wants that property, it doesn't hurt to try. There's no, yeah, you know,
We
you make a
waited
low
6
offer.
months to try it.
The risk is that you insult them and then you ruin all your negotiating for later, but
But to be fair, this one here was 1,800 square foot. The guy tried to get 1.9. He's trying to get over $1,000 a square foot for something that's worth probably $700 or $800 a square
and
foot.
that's what you bought
No,
it
I
for.
think it's worth 900.
Oh,
They
really?
literally sold the penthouse unit for $980 a square foot
Oh, okay.
a
So
month ago.
nice.
3 McAlpine.
I think it's like CO2.
3 McAlpine. It looks like Batman's building.
First offer is the best offer. I mean, sometime back there was, yeah.
First offer is your best offer.
I don't disagree with that statement.
For
Yeah.
my 4 listings,
Yeah.
2 listings we received the offer, 25,000 less than asking. Buyer didn't accept, seller didn't accept. Now they are like, ask the same buyer.
Yeah.
Same thing is happening when I'm putting offer as a buyer, and the listing agent didn't accept the offer. Now they are coming back.
They're coming back and you either already bought, you've moved on, you don't even like it, or your price is going to be even lower now.
And how many times does that happen? Just for the people at home, what he's saying here is that you put an offer in for a property here, and the seller says, no, I don't want that. I'm not going to give it away. And then 2 weeks later, the agent comes back to you and says, your buyer's still interested, and the buyer's moved on.
Yeah, they've already picked something.
So as a listing agent, you got to make sure your seller understands what's going on with the market. The market, especially condominiums, like, it can't be that difficult. Condominiums, it's price per square foot, right? So it's very mechanical.
It totally
I think.
is.
So but a house is a little different, but still. The housing market's crashed, but this could be good news if Toronto just addresses the problem. So they're saying that Toronto experienced its largest housing crash since 1990s, and I'm here to tell you that 1990s we survived.
You were going to be okay.
Right? So when people talk about the Depression, people talk about the pandemic, people talk World War II, we survived.
It took 7 years before you.
We still survived. We're here.
Still
Right?
survived.
We still survived, right? So the prices current prices today have dropped 20% from the 2022 peak. We know that. It's 5% even. It's 5% lower from last year. So prices have definitely gone down. So if you got a seller that wants more money than you got last year, or more money than what the neighbor got, market's changed, right? So we know that's a fact. It's painful for some current home buyers, but they're saying here that the prices have to fall. They're saying here the average single family home, and the average household income today is 11 times the salary to qualify for that home. Back in 1990, back in 20 years ago, it was 6. When I grew up as a kid, when I bought my first place, it was I paid $27,000, and my wife and I were making together $8,000 a year. So what's that? 3.5, 4. So what's happening here is this is why the buyers really aren't paying what the sellers want, because it's getting too much. And why it's 11 is because of interest rates. Interest rates will come down a little bit, but they're not going to come down to the 1.5 or 1% or wherever else. So, in my opinion, the prices have to come down because the wages don't support it. I don't know. You've got Varan here as well. What are you seeing now? Like, if you were to put a number on it, like how with people qualified 22 versus today, is it like 30% less, or that's a round number? Who knows? Yeah, it's just low, right? Yeah. The other problem, well, this is all negative. I don't want to talk negative stuff.
It's not negative. It just is. It's important that you know what's happening so you can explain it, right?
Yeah. What they're saying here in Toronto is that the only thing that Toronto has control over is the development charges and development fees and things like that, and Toronto can reduce those fees. The federal government can maybe do some of HST. Somebody can do something with the stress tests, right? All these things, they're things that they can do, but they're not doing it just yet. Mm-hmm. But what will fix everything, of course, is price reduction. Our Canadian house price is about to roll over. Don't bet the housing out on it. So they're saying here, even though we're saying that the prices should come down because of qualifying and because of the economy and because of the geopolitical stuff going on there, we expect it, but they're saying no, they won't. Everybody's still predicting prices that are still within 1 or 2%. So nobody's really predicting a downfall. We're just hanging on, waiting. Mm-hmm. They're also saying that the weaker condo market means tough choices for potential move-up buyers. What that means is people are sitting in condominiums right now, want to sell their condominium so they can buy a house, but the condominium's not selling, so they're not buying the house.
Yeah. I feel bad for those people, especially if they're having kids and breaking up.
Especially if they bought the condo because that's what they could afford, and then like, we'll just live here for 2 years and then we'll upgrade. And it's like, well, no. It's...
Adam was telling me he's got a couple plans like that right now.
Yeah, I
and
feel bad.
those are the people that need these upgraded houses. And then I'm also reading that people are not downsizing for the other opposite effect. Because if you own a house, let's say you own a detached single-family house, you downsize into a condo, your value of that condo is not appreciating as fast as your house. So you're actually going to retire more slowly by downgrading into. So they're not moving; they're staying in those houses. So we're really at this weird.
That's why a lot of parents
right
are moving into the basements of their kids' properties too. That's very common now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know what's going to shake it up. I think reducing the prices coming down is going to help a lot. Like we just saw last month. That was the first instance of it. So maybe we'll see it happen again. Month over month would be nice. Is anyone doing super creative things to try to sell listings?
We talked about the 4 things last week. Mm-hmm. Price, headline, photo, lifestyle.
Yeah, so lifestyles I'm reading is sort of the new one, especially lifestyle type open houses. So it's not just about running an open house right now, but it's making a theme about it and inviting content creators and people online that are into social media. They know that it's not there to sell the house, but by getting content creators and people there to market the property, they're hoping that that house gets more exposure, and then you can tell your client, what you're doing to actually sell that house as well. But there's people in Toronto that are doing very curated, themed type events with food and wine and entertainment. Do you guys think that works, or is that all a show?
Did you see there was an article, now that the broke agent, I think, or it was Real Estate Magazine, there was a woman that had a condo or a house that was beside one of those needle clinics, what do you call them, methadone clinics, and she talked about it. She's like, great house in a sketchy area, and she talked all about, the first photo was a graffiti wall, so she wasn't hiding it, and it sold in a week.
But probably priced properly?
Maybe, but she outlined the bad
so
parts
she didn't try to hide it then?
She was like, here it is. There's a needle clinic right across, methadone clinic.
Nice.
Cheapest condo you can get, but you got to put up with this. But and she put it all over her advertising.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's lots of creative things you can do it there. Obviously, it costs money too, and we know the reality. it's tough, but there is things that you can kind of do to spice up your listing a little bit. Do you still have market type stuff, Claire? Or?
Yep.
Okay.
Just a couple things here, just to pay attention to Market Watch. Hopefully you guys do look at Market Watch. You're not looking at the headlines. Market Watches will tell you what's going on in that particular neighborhood with prices. For instance, even though prices dropped, what did we say for last month? Prices dropped, was it 5%?
5% over year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you break it down, if I look at Richmond Hill, for instance, and a lot of people have Richmond Hill listings, Richmond Hill prices have dropped 12.4%. So it's quite a bit. And if you lived in Brock, which is, I'm not sure where Brock is, it's up, it's in Brock. Is that Beaverton? Beaverton,
Like Ottawa-ish?
Beaverton, Cannington, Lake Simcoe type area, the prices there have dropped 22%. Right? So you really got to look at the areas there. And they were saying that before, that those outskirt areas, the prices did increase quite a bit, and then they're the first ones to come down as well. So if you've got stuff sitting there, you got to look what's going on there too. And again, they're talking about stress tests. If they can do something with the stress tests, are they talking about that at all? Or I tell you what they're doing. They're doing two different things, right? They're talking about replacing the stress test with a multiple times your gross income. Have you heard any more about that? Or
I heard about the removing the stress test on the 5-year fixed. Going back to the origin, they didn't have a stress test on the 5-year fixed.
the 5-year fixed didn't have a stress test? Okay.
Until 2018, maybe.
Right. Okay. It does now. Yeah. Okay. So they're talking about maybe the stress test, if they reduce the stress test or if they made the stress test for particular people or maybe a certain income, but they want to get away from that and do a multiple times the gross income rather than a stress test. But I think that might be even worse.
And that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we want to do that. So that's fine. Don't want that.
So this was interesting. I think you guys know most of what's going to be in here. So this is just some benefit for everyone that doesn't. But there was a survey done by a company to look at if homeowners were prepared for all of the costs that come along with purchasing a home. And it was found that 42% of home buyers face unexpected expenses this year when they purchase their home. Meaning 42% of agents, I think, fail to do their job a little bit as well, not prepping them properly, right? So as agents, we have to prep them for all these costs. It's not just the down payment and that. There's a lot of costs that go into buying a home, and it's our job actually to prepare them all this. So it's not just down payment, mortgage pre-approval, of course, those are key steps, but other things that you need to remind people, things like immediate repairs, lawyer fees, land transfer tax, moving expenses, even home inspections, the cost itself to do a home inspection, there's a cost there. And then there's going to be a small cost when the home inspector does find things that go wrong with the house. Not everything is going to be fixed by the seller. Some things are going to have to be solved by that buyer. You have to prepare them for that. So when you get into your offer stage and you're getting ready for a home inspection, don't just let them know that everything that they find is going to be fixed right away, because you're going to find a whole bunch of things. It's not a brand new house. You got to prep the client for the fact that there's going to be some things that we're going to fix ourselves, and there's going to be some material things that we're going to ask the seller. But prep them for that so that they have a bit of cash in their pocket to be able to pay for stuff like that. Especially if, let's say you do the home inspection goes fine, you close on the property, you move in, home inspection is not going to test every single little thing like the appliance on the day of closing or foundations or things that you can't see. So you got to prep your home buyer for things like something happening under the floor, mold, just general housekeeping, right? You have to make sure that you prep them for that, because a lot of buyers don't realize that there is cost associated with that. Even land transfer tax alone, for an average price of $1 million property in Toronto, your tax bill alone is $37,000 that you need to have prepared at closing, right? So you have to prepare for all these things. Your real estate lawyer, they want cash. Those funds are not going to come from the equity of your home, so you've got to prepare for that, about $1,500. If you're getting into a condo, that's a whole separate sort of thing. You've got to prep your client for what's included by the condo corp versus what is owner managed as well. So all these things you've got to be able to prep your buyers for. And then the other thing that has been happening a lot more this year is getting ready for problem solving. So we've ourselves had a ton of closings this year where something just doesn't go as well as you thought it was going to be. And rather than fighting with the lawyers and the other agent who are 100% not going to fix your problems usually, we've had to fix it ourselves. We've had to be able to problem solve, which comes to cleaning, junk removal for a locker that was full of stuff, maybe a new dishwasher because it was broken, or a repairman. You've got to use a bit of your commission to help problem solve these things.
Especially on the buyer's side.
Yeah, and not discounting and giving cash back right away allows you to be a bit creative when when it comes to closing, because we don't do that. We've got a little bit, we know on closing day, we can support them with a little bit. If everything goes smooth, then they can get a nice little gift. But otherwise, we use that honestly in problem solving, because money can solve a lot of problems way more faster than a lawyer or the other side of the agent will once the deal's already done, right? So just prep for all of these things. It's not just the straight up cost of buying a home. And I think this could maybe be a little bit why buyers are nervous, because they don't really fully understand the whole process and what's involved, and it makes them feel a little bit nervous, and then they just don't do anything at all, and they end up renting because they think that's a little bit easier, right? So just prep for that, because 42% of people said that they didn't feel prepared when they closed their house and had unexpected costs. So that's quite a high percentage. Let me keep going. You guys are looking for a new way to get leads. Have you heard about the new program called Hive? We've been planting seeds for a little bit now. It finally went live in, I guess, Ontario, or I guess in Toronto last week. It is basically a platform where sellers for free can create a listing profile, something like, this is the house I want to sell, here's the age of it, blah, blah, blah. It's a listing. And as agents, you can bid to get that listing.
To buy the listing.
To get the listing contract, I guess.
On MLS. Can they sell it on this platform?
No. It's purely just a lead gen that's reverse, because it's the sellers adding their property and the agents are bidding on it. The platform is free for sellers to use, enabling them to receive upfront cash and compare side-by-side proposals from agents competing to earn their listing. So they started off with a 500 select invite-only realtors. I think that was when they first launched. I signed up for it myself yesterday. You go through a whole ID verification process and a RECO verification process as well. So I'm in the middle of that right now. But it looks like sellers can now create MLS-style pre-listings, photos, videos, property details, which can then be further enhanced by AI. And then the sellers receive bids that highlight agent credentials, regulator board compliance. I guess it just says that you're in compliance with board ratings, value propositions, and then they sign a standard listing agreement with their chosen agent. The agent's bid is held in trust until the home sells or the listing expires, with the full refunds if the seller breaches the listing agreement.
It's interesting. So wait, we're paying what, like $200 to get a listing?
You're bidding. You're
here's-
bidding for it.
Here's how it works.
Yeah, I'm confused about the bidding part.
So you got some seller that puts their name on this website. And this website here, by the way, they call themselves disruptors. And I thought it was funny. It was the old owner of Remax Canada who's doing this. The old owner of Right at Home is doing this, and some guy from an agency or something is doing this. So they've gone. These guys are no longer with those organizations, and they've created this disruptor. I'm just where it's coming from. So here's Remax talking about cream of the crop and top of the field and professional, blah blah blah. And here the president quit, and now he's doing this. Anyways, you as an agent compete with another agent to pay the seller money so they can list with you.
Plus your commission?
Commission's separate. This is all separate.
Commission will be part of
like,
your
I'll pay you
proposal.
$5,000 to get your listing.
So you would say, hey, I will give you, if you list with me, I will give you, Mr. Seller, $5,000.
Before the closing, after the closing?
They hold it in trust until closing.
There is no up front. You're paying up front. You're paying up front.
Yeah,
and then some other guy says, I'll pay you $10,000.
It's like eBay for a listing.
I'll pay you $10,000 to list with me. Hive keeps this money in a trust account, and when the property sells or the property doesn't sell for whatever reason, you get your money back.
And they must get a percentage of that.
They take 30%, and the rest of it goes to the seller.
30% of the bid.
30% of the bid. Mm-hmm. So if the winning bid is $10,000, this company gets $3,000, and the seller gets $7,000.
And then hopefully
how much is a lead? How much does it cost?
And they're saying that the average, they've taken this from a U.S. model, and they're saying that the average amount that an agent would bid is about 0.65%. So if it's $1 million property, it'd be $6,500.
Wow.
How much does a good lead
and
cost?
Then for you to win the bid, not only do you have to pay the seller the $6,500, you also have to have a proper listing presentation, what you're going to do to sell their house, and you can charge them 6% or 5% or 2% or where you might be, but I'll guarantee you, not guarantee you, I will suggest that somebody's going to pay this guy $10,000 and they're going to do it for 1% to boot.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll probably pay for free staging.
Yeah. And what happens if the house doesn't sell? Like maybe it's not that they breached it, but maybe it expires.
They get the deposit back.
If it expires,
Yeah.
the agent gets their money
Yeah,
back.
the listing expires, they get full. Yeah.
Yeah, if it doesn't sell, then the money
So the
goes back.
seller and the agent only gets paid if the house closes.
Seller could sue it, you didn't do the proper job.
Yeah, my brain fully went to like compliance and like how do you know if you breach the contract?
Yeah.
Like what if the contract's not? I don't know.
So these guys are doing nothing but bird dogging. That's all they're doing. They happen to be licensed.
Yeah.
They happen to be licensed, so it's legal to be bird dogging, but that's all they're doing.
And how long is it valid?
What do you mean, Val?
You still have a valid listing agreement.
You have to take
You
a
have to-
normal
you
listing.
take a
You do a normal listing.
You take a normal
agreement.
listing
You
at
just buy a
whatever
seller.
you're going to take, right?
Interesting. I'm going to do it.
I'm going to sign up on behalf just to let you guys know. I don't think it's like, the positive in me kind of sees it working.
It might be
different
better than paying
a
for
lead.
online leads, right? You're spending $1,000 a month for leads.
At least you
maybe.
get to upload your own marketing and your own stuff, and if it's a match, I don't know.
So even though you pay the money for the opening bid, you still have to get hired by the owner.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out if there's like a monthly payment you have to be part of the
No.
agents on there, or
Apparently
it's
not.
all free.
Not today.
Not yet.
That's
Like
the,
a
that's
Zillow
the
type
business
thing.
model of the thing. It's free for now and a year, and then it's a subscription
500 a month or
and
something
then
like that.
That's how they catch you. MailChimp did it, Canva did it. That's how this.
Yeah.
The
I
business model
could
works.
give you a list of 100 companies
Yeah.
that are disruptors that are no longer in business. So.
Fair.
Yep.
I'm not suggesting this company.
No.
It's a different idea.
just
People are
different.
trying it, but
It'll be very interesting.
anyways, it's there. So.
Yeah, okay, cool. Anybody working with downsizers? I know, Susan, you've specialized in that as well. How? What's the general feeling for them right now? Are they scared to move? They're scared, right?
Or their kids are moving with them,
Yeah.
Lots of
or
that.
they're hiring actual maids.
I was just nurses to come to their house, right?
Yeah.
Instead of
and-
getting a nursing home.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm reading just some tips for the mid or late life home buyers. Just some ideas that might be able to help them a little bit. It's not just a young person doing something, right? So sometimes our downsizers are looking to make a move as well, either laterally or they're downsizing. So just some ideas to prepare for retirement. A suggestion is to pay down your mortgage faster while you're still working. So don't wait till retirement to pay off your mortgage while you have income right now, and potentially while you have double income and a partner that's also earning an income. Start to accelerate your payments, even doing biweekly payments instead of monthly. But start doing that now while you're working, while you have income, so that you're not in a position where you're trying to retire and you can't pay off your mortgage, because then you're just going to be stuck, right? So that's one piece of advice. Downsize, preferably not. So there is some studies that say, I was just mentioning it before, sometimes it's not always simple or profitable. So let's say you've got a $2 million home in Toronto and you want to buy a condo for $1 million. After everything's said and done, it leaves you with about $500,000. So is that truly enough to retire on? $500,000, depending on if you're 65 and if you've got another 20 years left, is that truly enough to retire on? It might not, unless you have savings. So they're suggesting if you don't have extra savings, you might want to stay in the big house that you have and figure out a way to earn some income on that. Maybe like have your kids move in with
A
you.
lot of people are doing that. A
things
lot of
like
people are
that.
selling the parents' house, the kids' small house, and then they buy a house together, and then the parent goes in the basement.
That's
I've seen it
right.
happen like
And that
3
might
times
be
in our own clients.
The safer way to build family wealth together, as opposed to just
Well, then the parents go
netting.
travel, they
That's
go
right.
do their stuff, and then the kids get their kids taken care of.
That's right.
I don't know, it works for everybody.
Yeah, so if you're working with, you make sure you're doing your seller's net profit sheet, right, to really show them the math of everything, because sometimes they have in their head that they can just do this thing, but when you show them the math, it really doesn't make sense. So you've got to break it down for them, and we have seller's net sheets we can give you. It's also very emotionally complicated. So people often underestimate the psychological cost of moving out of a familiar space. So can you imagine you're dealing with a couple who's raised their kids in that home, they're both still somewhat healthy, maybe they're down, slowing down a little bit. You take them out of their forever house into a condo, your health can actually, slowly go down a lot more faster than what it would have been if you were at your own garden tinkering away, or you had your little wood workshop or whatever. That could be a huge lifestyle change. So something to keep in mind. They're saying downsizing may be better for somebody who's in the post-widowhood, or where the expenses truly do need to change, where you literally can't afford that house anymore. That's where it would make more sense. This is a tough one too. Relocate strategically for space and savings. I have my own clients that are exactly in this position, but you may need to relocate to a more affordable region to free up cash. So let's say you are in that $2 million house, you want to downsize. The gap in Toronto is not that big, right? For that same comparable type of space, you may need to go somewhere like Durham. And I had a client that did that. We went from Toronto, like Rosedale area, to Brooklyn. It wasn't, at least, Brooklyn was still quite nice, but now she has an idea to go back. And that's going to be quite a challenge for us. So they're saying you may need to move out of the area you're in, move farther away. And he's saying get over the fact that you're not going to be closer to friends and family, right? But this is just all about affordability and about being realistic as well. Consider multi-generational or shared living instead. So this is what Katelyn was talking about, where the kids move in, or they all buy a bigger property together, maybe with more acreage, or they're building a garden suite or something like that. That might be more realistic for somebody that can't afford to actually downsize on their own. And the last advice, Claire, you'll love this one, finally, is keep working. Keep working. Don't retire. But you could transition into a job that you love more. So maybe you retire from your crazy corporate whatever job and you go work at Walmart, or you go work at the garden center at whatever. But keep a job with something that you enjoy. Turn your lifelong hobby into a small income stream. Scale back from full-time, go into flexible contract roles, consulting gigs, seasonal work, but still earning money will be good for your retirement overall because you do need that income, but it also keeps your brain and your health really active as well. So there's lots of good benefits to keeping working. But the bottom line is be realistic about your situation and don't get stuck into daydreaming, and think about your entire family as a family, not just an individual person too as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure we have a lot of people in those situations, so just some advice. Yeah.
It's funny, I say keep on working here. I remember Floyd Wickman years ago said that if you're going to go on vacation, go on vacation. If you're not, work. So summer it's hot right here. So if you're working, get to work. If you're not working, go on vacation. Don't stay home and do nothing.
Yeah.
And as I just said, there's something to do every day. As a realtor, ask yourself, okay, I'm a realtor, I'm in real estate. In the last 2 weeks, how many physical homes did I go look at?
It's true.
How many homes have I been inside physically? Also, if you're working with the buyer, you would be with the buyer looking at properties. But if you're not working with the buyer, how many properties have you actually gone in and seen?
I think that's the best way to understand the market
And this is what we did all the time years ago. When things are slow, go out there and inspect properties. You don't have to have a buyer. You can inspect properties, right? Go and look at them. See what's up there. See what's going on. See what's happening.
The best way is because when you book a showing, then you're going to get notifications on when an offer's registered. You'll see, I know Realm should have this, but House Sigma lets you track the houses that you've gone in, and then you can set up alerts when it sells or whatever. So it'll say this house sold. Realm should have that, where a property that you took your client through and you get a notification if it's sold.
You can even do a specialty. You can look at every single property that has a legal rental basement apartment.
And then you understand.
And you look at every single one of them, and all of a sudden you have a legal basement apartment website. You say, I've seen this property, blah, blah, blah. You specialize.
Mm-hmm.
Start the caravan again,
Start a caravan, something, right? Okay, so we had a couple of RECO things there. Just
That's what we used to do that.
want to talk about here. So we get the question from time to time saying, working with the realtor, when am I supposed to get the working with the actually information?
RECO info guide.
RECO information guide. When am I supposed to get that signed? Some people are confused, right?
There's a lot of confusion, or they're just trying to get us to tell them they can do the bad thing.
Okay, so I know what people do on the street level, but once it gets past the street level and start getting offers, you have to have things done right. And you've got an information guide, and you got to send it to the information guide. You got to get them to acknowledge it. And it says very clearly on there saying that I acknowledge that my agent has read the information guide to me.
Explain.
It doesn't say that I acknowledge that I got it. It says I acknowledge that my agent explained it to me. So there's been situations, and it's not new, it's always happened, when somebody has a buyer and they've showed the buyer properties, and then the buyer wants to buy something. So then what happens? Then all of a sudden now the information guy comes up, they sign it the same day they sign the offer. You follow me so far?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be a common practice that people don't get the information guide or the BRA signed, BRA in particular, don't get the BRA signed until they do the offer? Instead of getting the BRA signed when they get the information guide at the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got to do it in a particular way. So let's assume that the buyer buys through somebody else, not you. Now you go to RECO, or not, you go to, you sue, but something ends up in RECO, and then RECO finds out that you sign the information guide the same time that you sign the BRA, the same time you sign the offer. And the client's saying that, I don't know, I got a bunch of signatures from DigiSign, they said sign here, and that's what I did. I don't know what I was signing. That's not a defense, but that's what they give. So RECO comes back saying that, well, maybe it is, maybe it's not. So they don't fine us, but they tell me to go to a course or something there. But they want us to do the information guide and the BRA before you do the offer.
Before you even do a showing.
Like but separate from
separate.
everything together.
Yeah. Separate
that
from-
will help protect you.
So if you're going to be doing an offer, and you got the information guide and you got a BRA, do not send it in one file.
Put them separate.
Always done that.
A lot of people do it.
No, that's the street.
You follow me? So you want to send it separate. You want separate files, and preferably before the offer. But it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But just try to protect yourself a little bit. Think about what's happening.
And in
with it, right?
particular with people that you don't know as well. So maybe it's an online lead or a referral. This is not like your super loyal client for 10 years. That's a different thing. These are for people that might throw you under the bus when it comes down to it. So that's to protect yourself, have everything done separately.
And the information guide, if you've got a listing agreement, you're allowed to represent your seller to try to get an offer for your seller. Therefore, you're gonna bring the buyer. You're trying to represent your seller, but you're not allowed to give a buyer any service at all without having the information guide explained and having the BRA.
And FinTrack and a whole bunch of other things.
So you're really not allowed. I mean, I know what happens at the street, but technically you're not allowed to give that client any service or any advice unless you're a client. And the only way you're a client is have a BRA. But I know what happens at the street, but that's the logic.
That's okay. Another note on RECO, I had this happen twice last week. Just so you know, the RECO app on your phone that has like your active expiry date, they don't service that app anymore. There's no updates to it. You might as well just delete it if you have it still there and it's active. But I think by now they're probably all expired. You have to go online to My RECO, download your certificate as a PDF, either print it out and have it with you, or save it as like an attachment on your phone somewhere where you can grab it really easy. You will need that when you go into condos. They're still going to ask to see it, but it's not in your app anymore. They don't service that. We don't even receive paper copies anymore as well. So just a reminder, if you're showing condos or you want to have your RECO license, have it downloaded on your phone or printed with you.
And if you're showing condos, they're going to ask for your license.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I haven't had a condo not ask for that. So, yeah.
Did anybody do this? Yeah.
Did anyone actually go to the event? No, we talked about it last week. Did anyone go to Universal Grand event? I don't know of anyone that went. I don't think anyone in my circle or who I know would be incentivized still by this.
This one here, they were offering $100,000 off on July 10th for Universal and Bailey and Liverpool.
So they're finally advertising.
So they're actually, I guess the incentives, a one-day only incentive, $100,000 off.
I mean,
but
it's
that was
select
good.
units only. It's up to. It's probably their big honking.
It's part of the beer
units
unit.
too. No, I have my email's pretty quiet for pre-construction lately.
Yeah.
Mostly it's assignments, and am I allowed to advertise, and what do I do if I can't close, and.
So we've had those now. They're coming around. You guys had those? You had any pre-construction clients that are scratching their heads? What are the options? Okay, so we've got Brian here now too.
One right now in Peterborough.
Peterborough, and then I just talked about Brock. Brock price is going down 22%. Peterborough's probably down 50%.
Yeah.
So what are the options? The options are what? Nelson and I talked about this. First of all, if you've got a client comes to you and says, look, I can't close or bought this place, can you sell it aside, whatever it might be. So you've got to communicate first of all. Some builders, particularly Royal Bank financing, but some builders will allow blanket mortgages. So the first conversation your client's going to have is with the builder. Do you guys do the blanket mortgages? And what the blanket mortgage means that if they paid $1 million for a property that's worth $800,000, they'll just close their eyes and say it's worth $1 million and give you a mortgage on that. Problem is you're going to close and you're going to, right off the bat, you're going to be $200,000 in the hole. But at least you're not going to get sued, you're not going to lose your deposit. So that's one option, if they'll do it. Another option is, maybe you can help me, do you deal with Royal Bank? No. Royal Bank directly has a product for people in this situation.
Say it again.
Royal Bank themselves have a product for people in this situation that they might close their eyes to the appraisal as well and just do what you paid for it. So have a conversation with Royal Bank. Mm-hmm. Royal Bank does not deal with mortgage brokers, so you got to deal with Royal Bank direct.
Says-
Are you familiar with what I'm talking about, or?
Yeah, but they also, let's say Treasure Hill is specific to the project, not the whole Treasure Hill project goes on there.
So some banks will actually,
Not even Royal Bank, like they have, it's a specific project has to be qualified under the Bank of Appraisal.
and they'll do the whole, that's right. So you don't know, but this even tells me here, even some outside of the bank appraisal, so.
Sometimes TD does it, BMO does it as well.
The other part would be a vendor take-back mortgage. If the builder's going to be out, if the builder's trying to force you to close on $1 million property that appraises at $800,000, then why wouldn't the builder take back a $200,000 mortgage? If he's so strong, or she's so strong, right? So that would be another option. Another option would be just walk away.
Get sued.
Or
Well, no, we say that, okay, but I haven't seen any lawsuits. Anybody seen a lawsuit yet?
not yet.
You can sue, but has anybody actually done it?
I mean, if you're going to sue somebody that has no money, what are you going to get out of it? They couldn't close.
Especially first time.
They have no money. What are
They're
you
gonna go out.
suing? What are you going to get?
I got an agent last week came to me saying that the client wants to take the realtor to ethics because of this situation where they bought a place for $1 million, it's only worth $800,000. It's the realtor's fault. The realtor said you can flip properties, you can make money, blah, blah, blah. So the agent started questioning a little bit. They didn't buy one, they bought 8. No, they bought 11.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's, this person's in real trouble. You can't blame the agent for that. It's just straight greed. So.
Yep. And then the other option I would say is try to negotiate.
Try to
Right.
negotiate, talk, just don't.
Just talk it. Yeah, same thing with your power sale. Don't just run away and don't say anything. Just be transparent about it. Talk it through. Some builders may be willing to negotiate to get it done. So.
You mean after you paid for it?
Well, you put your.
I think
you
it's
put-
rare,
you
but
put
I'm
your
just
20%
giving options.
down. Yeah, you put your 20% down. You've lost it already, right? So do you walk or what do you do?
Like the builder probably doesn't want to sue you or put it back on the market. I'm sure they want to do something. It depends on the builder and the project, right? It depends what
In
they're.
90s, like water photo, they had given this discount around $50,000.
Yeah.
The prices they were dropped.
All right, during the time, yeah. So there's got to be something out there. I mean, the
I
builder.
remember first time buyers, they walked out. They're gonna come out with it.
Yeah,
First time-
it wasn't about appraisal. It's just they don't have the money now.
Yeah.
That's for the first-time buyers, but a lot of people were investors. Like
Yeah.
25% were not first-time buyers. So,
They have something to.
so they've got something behind them, right? And I used to,
What happens to investors? I mean, they will run behind your
that's
primary
funny.
residence.
yeah. So if you're an investor, so it's more difficult, right? And see how things come back to bite you, right? I mean, I was talking to people some time ago saying the guy bought like 11 units. How do you qualify for 11 units?
Like, what did you think was going to happen?
And,
Like, that's-
and you get the nudge, wink, meaning that you got some mortgage broker write him a letter saying this one's approved, and it doesn't mean anything, but it satisfies this person sitting behind the desk. Here's my approval.
But imagine the thought
So-
process of thinking you were going to assign 11 units for profit. Like, you must have thought you were making bank that year. I don't know what. Like, how did you just? I can't imagine that world.
I will add on to it. What Claire is referring to, the client came to me,
Yeah.
bought 11 units.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And out of 11, 6 units, 6 or 7 private mortgage.
Oh, and they just thought they were going to assign them all and make all this money and.
All the 11 properties from the single realtor. And he convinced them, you invest, you will get the money back. And now there is a fight between.
How many other people did he tell that to too? Right?
Probably a lot.
Wow.
And now the buyer is asking realtor, you made so much of money, at least give me something.
I don't even think he's not making money either. Wow, that's fascinating.
Damn.
Our client bought in Clearview, I think that's close with Bloomount, for 2.2. Treasure Hill is selling the same development for 1.2.
Of course.
Wow.
Oh, God. $1 million.
So he asked me, what can I do? I'm like, you have a VTB, stay on the VTB or just walk out.
Yeah.
Can I go to the bank? I'm like, wow, you have shown $1 million.
Yeah. You talked about this last week, right?
Yep. A little bit.
Just that, and you talked about this last week too. Okay.
Yep.
I just showing Carter here out the city of Toronto. Their answer to housing shortage is to pre-design these laneway houses and these garden suites and things like these laneway houses. So they've got a bunch of pre-approved plans that they're already pre-approved. So you save a whole lot of time with engineering and planning and so on and so forth. But even then, they're only last year they only did 166 units.
Yeah, they're not. It's not the answer. These are tiny. These are like little studio. Like it's not the answer to affordable housing. What's wrong with my brain? Like, why are we not trying to get people to renovate old houses? Like, I just think about Scarborough area alone. There's so many houses that need renovating. Like no one's going to buy them and renovate them, then they just sit on the market. Why is there no sort of tax incentive to go in and renovate? Is there incentives for that?
It's the opposite.
Yeah, it's costly. Land transfer tax and the flipping tax and like.
So this.
No point doing it because the flipping tax alone,
Yeah.
plus land transfer
Yeah.
taxes, it's like 30% of the
Yeah,
cost.
I don't know why not just a little bump to help people renovate and buy these old 100-year-old houses that need upgrading.
I haven't got the numbers here, but if we're suggesting that the 500 square foot condominiums are flooding the market, does anybody notice that? I've been reading stuff like that saying like pre-construction, it's this 550, 500 square foot places are flooding the market. Why wouldn't the city just buy them all and make that affordable housing?
There you go. There's your totally. Here's your purpose-built.
Just like
Building.
everybody's telling me here that you can't build a house for the cost that you can buy a resale, then buy the resale. Right?
Yeah.
Just clear up all that inventory, get rid of it all. Right? And
Once those units that are under 500 square feet.
and then they're not all, if they're affordable housing, assume it's affordable housing, I don't know. When I grew up there, you'd have an entire apartment building in Scarborough would be all Ontario housing, the entire building.
Yeah.
And the entire building was like
It was
danger,
CMHC,
right?
Wasn't it?
Danger. So why wouldn't you, rather than have an entire building with these types of folks, why not have one suite in this building, another suite in that building, and then all of a sudden the people hang out with the people that working, like get rid of the cycle. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's
The system, yeah.
just my.
That's what Crombie Park is, right?
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And time has shown, after all of these years, it's still such a great area.
Yeah, because it's mixed. Yeah.
Is that where Jack Layton hung out?
Yep, exactly. That's a whole other drama.
But
It's interesting. It's a townhouse.
I bet she still lives there. She pays full rent, $1,400 a month for a townhouse.
Yeah, if you guys don't know that story, you can do some Googling and see what's happening there. Well, this is a long meeting today, but that's okay, because we had a holiday. Are you okay for a minute? I just have one thing for our solo agents and agents that are thinking about making a team or maybe approaching some burnout. I've been getting a lot of calls last week, and the calls look like, hey, Carly, like I feel like I'm working, but nothing's happening. Am I the only one? And I'm saying, no, you're not alone. And I know of another person who put on her Instagram last week that she had a bit of a health scare as well. I myself almost approached a little bit of a burnout too. So for my solo agents, be careful when you're approaching that. You may either need to hire somebody. You might be ready to get some help and not just do it on your own, or utilize us where you need to, right? Make sure you're reaching out to us for support and things like that. But if you are ready to hire an assistant, here are some things that you can look for to help you make that decision. So start by identifying what is pulling you away from your client service. So beyond like the paperwork and the signing and the booking showings, like if you're feeling like you're not servicing your clients the way you want to, what exactly is pulling you away from that? And make a list out of that. So this is where we can start to hire somebody to fill in those gaps. Don't wait until you're overwhelmed. So once you're already overwhelmed, it's going to be very overwhelming to think about hiring somebody and trying to fit them into that box. So do it before you get to that stage, and let us help you when you get there. But don't wait until you're past that. And then hire with a clear sense of what you need today and how that might evolve tomorrow. So what you need today may be a little bit different as you grow your team and as you evolve. So think about both today, but how it might evolve as well. Invest in someone that you can train and grow with. And look for someone that complements your strengths. So don't look for somebody who's necessarily the exact same as you. Make a list of things that you're not good at, and you may want to hire somebody that complements that so that you can focus on your strengths, right? Looking for somebody who values your business as if it were their own. I think that might be the most challenging thing to find, is somebody that really thinks like you do, so that would be a really big challenge. But looking for someone with integrity, attention to detail, emotional intelligence. So they need to be calm under pressure, skilled in using real estate technology platforms, and aligned to your work ethic. So this is a time for you to kind of dig into what your own values and morals are and what you want your business to run, and how can you add somebody to that. Personality and compatibility, so make sure you get along with them, that you overall, the demeanor kind of reflects your brand, and that will help you. And then also saying goodbye to things that don't work. So we don't always make great hiring decisions. It doesn't always work, but making sure you cut it pretty quickly. I just want to make sure that our solo agents feel like they're supported, because you are kind of out there by yourself, running your own show, doing your own thing. We did that ourselves. We for sure have PTSD from working 80 hours a week every single weekend. We've shifted our business a little bit to allow more support. But if you're feeling like you're overwhelmed, you're getting burnt out, you're ready for the next step. Maybe you're not ready for the next step, but you just need help and you need to like talk it through. Just make sure you're reaching out to any of us on the management team so that we can help you, because you're not alone. I know we don't always come into the office, but we're available. Like we are here every day, we're fully available. It's not a burden on us. So just make sure you're reaching out and getting the support that you need. And if you're ready to hire somebody, let us know, because we can help facilitate that system for you as well.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you hire full time. It could just be another agent in the brokerage. Maybe they're newer. They've got more time to do showings for you, or I remember we were hiring Michael for a minute to like go pick up lock boxes for us. Like little tasks in your day. What else were we doing?
Everything. There's different types of support. Some support could be things like paperwork and organizing your forms, more like a transaction coordinator helping that. Some people really need help with like client communication. Like you want to be the person prospecting, getting the listings, but you want to pass it off to somebody to help coordinate that. So there's different levels of admin support. There's licensed and there's unlicensed, and there's benefits of both. I would argue that license will be your most support because it can actually contribute to your real estate business and talk about, real estate.
We can do buyer visits, home inspections, open houses,
like
take off a lot of time and stuff like that.
So if you're not ready to hire somebody, you could utilize a brokerage. We have 450 agents. A lot of them are brand new, looking for support, and that's a good way to kind of ease into hiring your own assistant. And maybe you don't need it full time, like you said. It could be a busy time, and maybe it's not all the time, and we can help facilitate that as well. So just let us know when you need some help.
Cool. All right. I won't do all the articles since we're well past, but this was just a funny conversation I was having with a friend actually yesterday. She sent me a photo and she said how ridiculous this closing gift was that an agent gave. How many of you guys do closing gifts for your clients? Like pretty much all of us. She was making fun of it because someone got a Yeti mug with the agent's name like bold right on it. And she's like, how ridiculous is this? She's like, I would be offended if my agent gave me that. And it got me to thinking about closing gifts for some reason, because it is kind of egocentric of us sometimes, of the stuff that we send our clients. And I've never really thought about it from the client perspective. So I was kind of like, tell me more. Like what would you like from your agent? And so she just said, not a Yeti mug with the agent's name. Like, what am I going to do? Walk around with this mug? Like, and like, I think it had like the names of the agent. So she thought it wasn't like a logo. So she hated it. So I was like, that's really interesting to hear from like a perspective of a client, because we don't really ask our clients what they would like from a gift. But anyways, I kind of just came across an article coincidentally yesterday about closing day mistakes that will cost you business. And there was a couple that actually went on Reddit, and they wrote, our agent made $30,000 from our deal and they didn't even say thank you. So this was all about a client that obviously they sold their house. The agent didn't say thank you. There was no card, there was no gift, no follow-up text. And they were pretty pissed. And apparently like the Reddit thread just went off about all of the different things agents have done to not thank them for their business. And a lot of these people, they weren't really expecting anything over the top, but like a thank you would have been nice, right? So I know there was this, as I was talking to my friend, there's a very well-known team in Durham that does a lot of business, and her friend had done 3 deals with this team, not a closing gift, nothing, and they actually stopped giving business to these people. So it is a very big deal on how you guys handle your closing days. I'm not saying you had to go give flat screen TVs or anything like that, but something should be done to kind of close the transaction, even if you guys are just texting them. Like I said, this is a relationship-driven business. So moments like closing day, it's not just about handing over the keys, but this is kind of your opportunity to build loyalty, spark some referrals, and show that your clients actually mattered, because there's 70,000 of us to choose from, and they chose you guys. So don't just go to closing day and don't do nothing. But these were some of the best gifts from the Reddit commenters on this approach, on some of the best gifts that show appreciation. Some of the standout ones were Ring cameras, which was mentioned apparently multiple times. Cutting boards, especially if it's a high quality one.
Really?
Maybe $200 gift cards to Home Depot, especially if it's a fixer-upper type of client, which we actually just recently did as well, like giving money towards handy services, painting, stuff like that. Costco membership and a $100 gift card. Some people really did appreciate the holidays when you get like a holiday pie, Thanksgiving pie, wreaths, brunch invitations with free professional photo shoots, which some of our agents do around Christmas time. Some do actually appreciate the annual Christmas gifts or cards, deep cleaning before move-in, This one made me laugh because it did say a personalized Yeti, but maybe like a personalized Yeti for your client with their name on it, maybe not your name on it.
Personalized for the family.
So maybe when you're doing like personalized gifts, like cutting boards or even a doormat, maybe don't put your name on it, put your client's names on it, stuff like that. These were closing gifts that actually missed the mark. So these were worse than doing nothing. Wine for a visibly pregnant client.
Or a Muslim.
Champagne or alcohol for clients who do not drink. Cutco knives that are paired with a pitch for the wife's MLM business. An ugly branded cutting board. Wine kept in a hot car. A massive floral arrangement for Christmas. And a hang it on the wall home decor. That feels like clutter. So if you guys are thinking about, I think you shouldn't do nothing for closing. We like definitely cut it down. We used to do like full gift baskets, show up on closing day. And that even, I hated it. I'm pretty sure the clients hated it. They don't want to see us. So we ended up just starting to do, we will send them flowers on closing from Kalia. And then if we know that the cleaning is kind of a lot, if they're moving from a house and then moving into another, sometimes it's nice to offer, hey, we'll clean your house after you move in for the new buyers, or we'll offer to clean the new house for you when you move in. So a lot of clients appreciate, I think, more service-based things. If, like Carly was mentioning, if the dishwasher was broken, maybe instead of picking a closing gift right away, start to base it on that client, because you might be buying a dishwasher instead of, I don't know, a cutting board. Yeah. So maybe before closing, just kind of keep an eye out on triggers. You might have a very pregnant wife that doesn't want to clean the house, so yeah, sending a cleaning service instead. Those types of things. Uber Eats gift cards.
I like choice too. It was fun to give our clients a choice.
We did give a client.
We said, do you want Home Depot or cleaning? And she was, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love Home Depot. So it was kind of fun to give them like a little
Or we
option.
said, do you want cash or a gift? They're like, I want cash. So you're like, great, I'll give you $250 cash instead of a gift. So sometimes you can ask them if it's like a condo, stuff like that. But don't do nothing. At least say thank you for your business, a card. But
I want to thank you for
sometimes we don't get thank yous very often. I don't know if you guys have gotten gifts, but it is important to them.
Yeah, just a comment there again. Sorry. So you've been working with the buyer. Ron mentioned this. You're working with the buyer, and the buyer's having fun. The buyer's entertainment. You're showing them 16 houses, something to do that Saturday afternoon or Sunday. It's entertainment. You've been doing this now for 4 or 5 months. all of a sudden they buy a house, and you ghost them.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden they think, gee, I thought Ron was my friend. And all of a sudden all you want to do is sell me a house, and I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah. So it's a missed opportunity.
So now when it comes to sell that house, Ron
ghosted.
Ron ghosted us. So.
Yeah. So sometimes that closing gift is a good opportunity.
So you have to think about that.
On that same
and it makes
note,
sense, right? You're with this person every week, and all of a sudden they're gone. You sold them the house, and I'm just after the money.
No, and I've told clients, I'm not going to go away on closing. Please text me after closing. Let me know. Like, I want the problems. There is going to be problems, but you want to be the problem solver. You don't want them to go to their mom or dad, and then the dad's mad that they, you want to solve the problem. So be in contact with them. Yeah.
But you never know, like on closing, like their friends may be like, oh my gosh, how was your realtor? And they're like, oh my gosh, you should call Ron. He was really great. He did this and this and this. So if you ghost them, it ruins the entire transaction, and you're never going to get a referral. And then you kind of just wasted a good opportunity, because majority of your clients are coming from past clients. So now you got to start the wheel all over again if you're not. And again, we're not saying give them tens of thousands of dollars. Don't give them like your entire half your paycheck, but give them a cleaning service for $300.
Sometimes I'll say our best gift for our downsizers, they love it every time. It's from Etsy. It's a painted portrait of their old house.
Only if they liked the house a lot.
Most of the time, I think 80% of the time, that was their family house. They loved it. Even if it was ugly, they're sentimental to it. I still go. I went to a client's house last weekend, and she had it up on a frame, and her little dog was painted there. And she's like, there's the photo you gave me. And they love it. So that's a really nice,
we've
simple
also
gift.
been to a house where we bought them. We got them like the intersection of the Toronto house they were at, and then we went to go back to relist it 5 years later, and it was like in a box somewhere else. So like sometimes clients don't appreciate some of the photos you buy.
It's the older clients.
Well, this one said, don't give them clutter that you put on the wall. So think about
your old ladies want portraits.
They don't need candles. They don't need bath mats. They don't need like those little things you make in a little basket. Don't do those. Think of like practical things.
Somebody also told me that they won't remember cash, but they'll remember the iPad.
Oh, interesting. Like the tangible.
Like they'll remember something that's physical. Like cash, they won't remember the cash.
Well, that's why some agents will put their name on a cutting board, because they don't want to get forgotten about. Like, put the client's name on the cutting board.
Or a Yeti mug.
Like put their last name or something, or yeah. They won't remember you from that pen you gave you, I promise.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
exactly. Yeah.
Anyways, so that's kind of the funny thoughts I got just from the closing gifts.
Yeah.
Just some stuff that's happening this week. We're kind of switching it up a little bit because we've got Jamie Purvish that's going to do a webinar tomorrow. Usually we do Wednesdays, but he only does his webinars on Tuesdays. I think it's going to be good timing. He's doing the EI Master using emotional intelligence to overcome objections. So he's going to be teaching you guys really how to lead yourself and your clients through challenges. And he's going to show you guys how to navigate objections, how to regulate those emotional triggers, and how to stay composed in high-stake conversations. Whether you're trying to have like a pricing conversation with your clients and they're pushing back, client hesitation, navigating shifting market conditions. So he's going to teach you guys how to regulate your emotions to be able to communicate properly when you guys are under stress with it. Because it can be really easy right now when you're trying to tell your client to reduce the price and they're saying no, and you want to drill it in their heads and they're just not listening. So I think it's going to be a really good conversation. Yeah. That's going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. I don't know if it's recorded, but it's hopefully. But if not, come live then.
Virtual too?
It's only virtual, yeah. On Wednesday, Richard Robbins is going to be doing a webinar at 1 o'clock. I think he's going to be doing probably another market update. The 3 biggest takeaways from the first half of 2025, some surprising stats behind the headlines, what buyers and sellers really need from you right now, and then some action steps to drive listings, buyer confidence, and consistency. So that's on Wednesday. Do we want to talk about the rest of the month? We've got a big month.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's this week. Next week, we're going to do a beach day cleanup, which we'll send you guys more information on Wednesday, where we can all hang out, clean up some garbage. Either we can all go together at the Rouge Beach, or you can choose your own beach. So we're going to do that just as a fun day.
I want to make sure Rouge is actually dirty. I'm going to go down and check it out.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Sometimes
check
it's very
the
clean.
Rouge. Yeah, we can check it out.
Do we have a address for that? Like,
I'm just bringing it up.
There will be one. Yeah, we'll send it out. An address.
Oh, an address? Yes.
no.
Oh.
Any kind of address?
Yeah, you have to wear a formal suit when you're cleaning up the garbage.
No, I mean like our brokerage.
If you have it, yeah, wear it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking probably tell people to wear swag if you want to.
Yeah.
Beach cleanup sounds like fun. Is Clear paying for it?
There's
It's a volunteer service. There's no payment.
There's no money involved in this.
There's no money. This is just us dirtying ourselves.
You said beach cleanup, right?
Yeah.
And we can go to the beach that we want, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to know if Clear's gonna pay
No.
for us to go.
Hey, he wants to go to Miami.
Oh. No, we're in a recession right now.
This is community.
This is
based
community volunteer
volunteer
work.
to help the community.
If you don't want a beach cleanup and you do want to learn some things, Rob Vivian's going to be in town on July 23rd and 24th at Ajax. Rand was kind of talking a little bit about it. He's going to be going there. But they are selling tickets for $2.99. It's called the Breakthrough event.
I would recommend to do that over the beach cleanup if
Yeah.
you needed my opinion as well.
Yeah, if you want to go learn. So
Go on, yeah.
on Wednesday, Thursday, 23rd, 24th. And then July 30th, Jonathan Griffiths is going to be hosting a lunch and learn at the Mandarin. I'm not sure what topic he's talking about, but Jonathan Griffiths is a lawyer in Scarborough and Durham region that we do a lot of business with, so he's going to be hosting that. I think I've got about 50 people signed up for it. I have room for 80. I'll send out another notification. If you would like to sign up for it, just send me or Ginny an email. I'll send out another notification for that, but please don't just show up. Please tell us if you're coming so we can make sure we have enough seats for everybody. They are paying for it, so we want to make sure we've got enough room.
Golf.
And then golf is August 13th. There's a lot of rumors going around that it's grown-up golf, but it's actually what we did last year. It's the Stouffville Timber Creek, where we brought the kids this year. There's going to be, last year we were able to choose 3 activities. You could do mini putt, gem mining, batting cages, or driving range. The gem mining was the biggest hit of them, but you get to pick 3 of those activities to do. So that's for the kids and spouses to come to. Please don't invite your clients and families and all that. This is just for your families. No extended family.
Yeah, when you RSVP, let Ginny know which kids are under 13. We're going to track them both separately as well.
Yeah. And then Mandarin lunch will be after that. We're doing a lot of Mandarin this summer. And I think that's all I got. That's all I got.
Anything online, questions or anything? Or anyone have listings you want to talk about? Alex is trying to sell the cheapest condo in Scarborough, along with James, I think, as well. You guys both have the cheapest condos.
Ooh, competition.
James has got another one, east.
Jane Street. Is it
Sarah
Jane?
down.
Jane or
The
Dixon?
one that he was talking about last week. Anyone else? Nothing online?
I did want to make a weird comment because I have Olive King on here. He's not even here. I was waiting to see if he'd show up.
He's standing around the corner.
But speaking of cheapest places, Michael Smith is having a really not good luck, but he's been working hard. There's a street in Oshawa called Olive. It's full of townhomes. I think there's 60 houses on it. Michael's done like 4 sales from this street right now, and he's really leveraging it. So if you guys are thinking about, Claire talks about farming all the time, and even if it's in a bad area, Michael's been taking really good advantage of it. He got 1 sale from it, and now it's turned into 3. And it's a small little farming area where he can just continue to send postcards out to Olive, and we even made him a postcard of him sitting on a throne with olives on it, calling him the Olive King. And it seems to be working. He just firmed up on one last week, very quick sale. Apparently they own like 3 others. So if you guys are thinking about farming, go find a street and call your, name yourself on it, because I think it's impacting a lot. Even once Alex sells that condo, he could start to maybe farm that little building too. He's probably over that building now, but no condos? Okay. There you go. Cool. That's all I got. We got a busy week.
Yep. No holidays. I think we're back next week, right?
Yep.
Yep.
See you tomorrow, 11
See you guys
a.m.
tomorrow. Have a good week. Bye.